Let me
Sometimes the strange is better.
yeah.
Hey, this is a shout out to the
I thought you meant the person because you. It seems to me. Look, it seems to me like you are blaming the it's the victim blaming line of talking that
Yeah,
it
because
sounds
that's
like
No,
who
you're
I
that's
just.
am.
that's 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 very easy to jump to that conclusion, but bro, like I mean, it's a lot of see if I'm when I talk about responsibility, yes, that is on the person. But now when we're talking about something based on health, where if it's something very like if it looks like somebody's gonna die from childbirth, now that's not there on them, so to speak, you know what I'm saying. Could it be? I don't know, but to me I would look more at the professionals in that situation where it's getting to that term of a pregnancy where it could be dangerous. No, I mean, that's I don't no, I'm not looking at it being the fault of the 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 patient. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just trying to have a kid.
So
And most
well,
of the time, if you get to that point of it, they wanted the kid. It's not like they want an abortion, but it's got to be up to somebody to decide. Hey, well, you know what? This is going to be more riskier for you than the average person, and it's up for the doctors to suggest or to recommend on what direction that pregnancy should go into go should go in. So
let me ask you this. Let's get to the basic point. So what looks like what's going to happen is somebody's going to, especially since this has been leaked, somebody's going to bring a direct, um, you know, what do you call it? Charge to Roe versus Wade, and then it's going to make it up to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme's going to overturn Roe versus Wade and give a whole new, list of, let's say, women's rights or whatever.
well, no, they're
So,
already saying that that's not really the in the place of the United States as a country. Is not really something that that should be up
Well,
to
that's
individual
exactly what they
states.
did too.
well, look, that's what I'm trying to tell
But the
you. So,
funny thing is, it was the Democrat. It was the Democrats that made that the. It was the Democrats that pushed the lawsuit forward,
Yeah,
mm,
and you know why they
that's
did it.
that's a part that people didn't want to look at.
Well, you know why they did it because it was just before that midterm election, and it was right after Texas pulled that crazy shit. Yes, us with our abortion stuff.
Well, look,
So
just recently, they were saying that was something that was brought in by Biden because of his religious beliefs.
okay, well here's some optic stuff and stuff like that though. Texas just made these new laws that made everything really crazy. Okay, Democrats push a law to the Supreme Court that gets Roe versus Wade overturned. Now, all of a sudden, the conservatives are coming after your bodies and your right. Oh, yeah. By the way, if you don't get poked, you're an evil, bad person. But it's about body control and choice. And, and like I said, the whole thing was really pushed at the proper time to stop the red from taking over as much as it would, because all of a sudden that becomes a major issue.
and maybe they didn't think it was, but I never think that I never go with the that they didn't know, like they're
Hey,
stupid. The Democrats are dumb,
I
and they
said
just
I
stuck
said
with
they
it,
weren't.
and they didn't
I
know.
agreed with you that they were going to go after it, or the way I said it was they're not going to go after Roe versus Wade directly. And
Yeah, so use the Democrats.
my
That's
thing
good
is,
cop, bad
I
cop.
was I was speaking from the Republican side. I didn't expect it to be the Democrats that push the agenda. See,
Yeah.
that's where I was wrong. I didn't think it was going to be an issue for a while.
But they were probably, the optics of it is that they want to, send it to the Supreme Court so that it can be, strengthened. You know what I mean? Because the states were pushing against it, like the laws that Texas had passed and other states. So that's optics.
If y'all remember what was happening in the midst of all of that, because we're finding out later that they had something to do with it being.
We lost you. We can't hear you.
He's no longer in the chat.
Oh, he fell out.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, on that on that abortion thing, like, what about, like, let's say you have somebody that is known, people know that, like, she is not capable of raising a child. She, back in and out of it mentally, you know, um, but she's promiscuous. She's sexually active, and she gets pregnant with a child. Is it right to make someone like that that's capable, that will possibly harm this child inside of her?
See, but that's dangerous ground.
Okay, well, technically by Roe versus Wade, because of the fact if she is diagnosed bipolar with mental illness or anything like that, it would be acceptable for her to have abortion because it would potentially affect her mental health directly.
So, but from your point of view, Deuce, that would depend on who's making that decision, right? And so that would be scary situation and slippery slope, because when you want to go back to eugenics and people saying that certain people aren't, they shouldn't make babies. You know what I'm saying? And that, it'll be like a bureaucracy or whatever deciding on who can make babies and who can't. So I think
there are certain truths to that statement. However wrong it is to, there are people that shouldn't have babies. Maybe I'm going to say this more together than individually, because of what could potentially happen. And this is beyond the usual family, keep it in the family kind of thing. But I'm not saying that on a eugenics level. I'm saying that on a, this is kind of why people used to be blood tested back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't like that, going down that road. I get your argument.
No,
Deuce.
it is a difficult road. I agree.
I agree. I get your argument, Deuce, but that starting that road is going to end at a really ugly place.
Well, no, I wasn't meaning it in the fact that, like, she doesn't deserve to have a baby. No, what I was saying is that this woman who deals with this mental illness and have these issues, she's promiscuous, and she gets pregnant, and she's showing signs and telling people that
you scratching
she wants
from underneath the counter.
That she wants to hurt herself or
all the anxiousness, and you weren't scratching. Why are you now?
To remove this baby out of her, like, is she therefore forced because of the way the laws is? Is she therefore forced to hold this baby, or she commit the ultimate? Is she gonna be now facing, jail time because she did, it on her own?
I think you're making the argument for Roe versus Wade, because
that's where I was going. That's where I was going with it. Like, I feel like, there was a lot of factors, and I'm throwing this whole thing out that I don't think that they considered, because there's people that deal with different mental illnesses and things of that nature, and they are sexually active, active or promiscuous, and them being pregnant and them battling, whatever it is that they're dealing with, you know, now they're pregnant. They're like, I don't want this. This is not what I wanted. And then they go and hurt themselves or hurt the baby, or whatever. It's like, why would you force someone like that, even though they're sexually active? Why would you like force somebody like that to keep this child and then serve them a prison sentence because they decided to do an abortion on their own?
Well, let me tell you what the ugly answer would be is to get those people fixed, right? I'm not condoning this. I don't even like it when people do it to animals. And it's so true because of my animals, I never get them fixed. I want them to at least freaking soil their royal oats in this bitch, So I don't agree with that at all. But what I'm saying is that will be an answer that they would say. You get what I'm saying? Okay, let them be promiscuously, let them be sexually active. Just make sure that they can't make babies. So then there's ethics with that again, that road is horrible. But the Roe versus Wade is the middle, like Doc was saying. It's the compromise, so that that person, hopefully they can be of sound mind. Someone can influence them around them to hopefully make the best decision in the situation. This is tough stuff right here. This is a real touchy subject. This is this is life and death, literally.
And like I say, I am not a fan of abortion. I really don't like it. I don't believe in it. But we have to come to a compromise when it comes to a 9-month incubation of a symbiote in another fucking body. That's
because
that's reaching some bad shit too.
Because the mom is the part that I think,
and any compromise that does not have exceptions for rape, incest, major deformities is completely off the table because it's not a compromise.
And the
no one should ever be forced in those situations.
When they have those
statement
ones where the womb, where the egg fertilizes in the wrong spot in the fallopian tube or somewhere, whatever the hell, all those
that is potential death and stuff for the mother. That should be covered under that's one that they can't really say anything about.
They